It's been a while, I'm probably not going to be super in tune. Welcome back to the Roundtable podcast. We are so back after a year and a half almost, but we're finally back, and we're going to just try stuff out today, see what works. So Logan, how have you been doing?
Awesome. Glad to be here.
Sweet. I didn't really get to have you on the first original three episode run of this podcast, but I guess we'll start off with some simple questions. What's college been like so far? We're about a month in. What has this experience been like for you?
Honestly, like a lot easier than I thought. The workload is a lot more than what I've been used to, like with high school and stuff, but other than the workload, like everything's pretty chilling, like pretty laid back, easy.
Nice. So I guess for the people listening that may not know, just kind of give a background of what you're studying, what your major is. I know we've probably done that like 100 times since we've gotten here, but go ahead and give that little description about yourself.
So I'm studying kinesiology, which is the undergrad to go to like PT, AT, or OT school. So I'm studying that, and then the plan is to go to PT school after. So yeah, I'm done with my first year, so I'm technically a sophomore, but I'm a first year in college, so it's nice. Shout out
North Hughes, Common Core, Ivy Tech push.
Shout out Ivy Tech.
Shout out Ivy Tech, yeah. This might spill into something I already had on this handy notepad that I've been using for these questions. What made you go that route? What kind of inspired you to go into that kind of career choice?
Yeah, so on like a surface level, going into senior year, I was like, I really don't know what I want to do, because I thought computer science was kind of what I was going to do. And then I was like, I can't really sit at a computer screen for 8 hours a day and call that my job. So then I went through ACL surgery, and going through rehab and stuff opened like a new side of me. And I was like, if I could help athletes like this, like the way they've helped me, like I'd want to do the same for other athletes and get them back to their sports and kind of help them return. So that's kind of like my motive for all of this.
Yeah.
So I want to study this.
Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, one of my topics on here, I just put it as ACL talk, but just kind of go through that. That's, something we both share.
Yeah.
ACL, we were just talking about that yesterday in our sports ethics class. But, do you want to kind of go through that story, go through that whole process? What was it like, the moment of the tear, any anticipation between the injury and the surgery? I know you kind of have a long story with that. So do you like to kind of describe that?
Originally, I think I had done something to it like my freshman year. I was like in band, and we were like doing a stupid thing to see how many steps you could get across the basketball floor. And I was doing that, and I went to the end, and then like my knee kind of buckled, and I was like, oh, whatever. Like it hurt for a second, but I was like, fine, I got to do the run through. So I did the run through, and like towards the end, it kind of buckled out again. So like the end, I just had to stop. And then I took like a day or two off of school, took a bunch of ibuprofen, Tylenol, went through that, and then I was fine, just wore a brace for the rest of the season.
So it was like a pain thing, right? Like it was hurting? Okay.
Yeah. So then like I had a whole year where nothing like else came about it. And then January of 2024, we were playing dodgeball at indoor practice, and I went to jump up to make a catch, and I came down and my knee popped and dislocated. So I got dragged off the sidelines, which, funny story, was around the time where Peter Griffin was in Fortnite. and his thing when he died was he'd be like, oh, and that was like exactly what I was doing. And
yeah,
I was,
like where he was like holding his knee.
Yeah, and I was holding my knee, and they were like, oh, you're doing the Peter Griffin. Like I was like,
You're
no,
like, I'm in pain.
I
please.
like can't get up.
Yeah.
Like I heard the pop and everything. So then I waited for like half an hour for my parents to get to the school. I got carted out to my car, went to the walk-in clinic on 46. Then I went in there. I got wheelchaired in, and I was sitting. They finally took me back to get my x-ray. I'm laying on the bed, and nothing happened. And all of a sudden, like no one was touching it. My knee just popped back into place, which was very weird. But as soon as that happened, I just felt instant relief, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like I stood up, and I could walk, and I could do whatever. So then the next week, I went to the bone and joint, and they kind of checked me out and were like, oh, I think you just have a sprained MCL or whatever. And I was like, okay. So I wore like a leg cast for about a week. And then after that, I went back to indoor, finished that whole season. And then in May, I was at a fair, like it was a fair in Terre Haute.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just walking around. I've been there for like 30 minutes and my knee is just like killing me. And like then this started to like reoccur where like every time I'd walk on it for like a while, my knee would just start hurting. And I was talking to my mom about it, and we were like, let's just get an MRI just to check. So I got the MRI, and I got the results back in like the middle of January, and they were like, I don't know what you're doing, but you have a fully torn ACL and your meniscus is partially torn.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, dang.
That's a crazy part of it, because I know whenever the first time I tore my ACL, that was one of the main talking points. It was like, well, a lot of people, like most people, can live off of a torn ACL, and that's what a lot of, I think, older people do, because it's not worth going through all the rehab. And if you're not doing anything like crazy physically, there's not really a need to. But it's crazy that such a major injury is like something you can just, live off of. But
yeah, the fact I didn't know it was like kind of crazy to me. But then when I went up to Riley Hospital to like kind of get checked out, the guy like laid me on the bed and he flexed my left knee, and then he was manipulating my right knee, and it was so loose, like, and I was like, whoa, like this is weird.
yeah.
So then we scheduled my surgery about like a month and a half out, and then I got surgery, and then I was rehabbing pretty hard.
How long was that rehab process for you?
So I started physical therapy end of July, and I didn't stop going till March. So what, like 8 or 9 months probably.
You said you went
end of July.
End of July to March, so yeah, if you want to count that out.
Yeah,
8 months. Yeah, that makes sense.
So going twice a week for 8 months, which there was a stretch in the beginning. So when my surgeon told me in 6 weeks when we have our checkup that he wants to see me like at least at 90 degrees. So I got there and I was kind of struggling to get to 90. Like I got it like once or twice. So I got in there and I was like at a 60 or 70 degree bend, and he was like, dude.
670?
Yeah, 670. And he was like, we're going to need, like, you got to work on this, or else we're going to have to give you another surgery where we take out the scar tissue, or we do a manipulation surgery where we put you under anesthesia and just like really crack it back and forth. So then the next 4 weeks, I went to physical therapy 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And that was awful. My therapist would put me on my stomach, and I would hold on to the railing of the bed, and she would just take my leg and push it back. And I had to do that every morning with my mom. I'd get up at 6 a.m., and I'd do that a couple times. And just like when it gets to the spot where like it really hurts, you hold it for 30 seconds and just like breathe it out.
I remember whenever I went through the first time, the second time I kind of knew what to expect, but the first time I did it, they were like, all right, we're going to take this like bed sheet, we're going to wrap it around your foot, and then we're going to like pull up and just see how far it bends. Dude, it was crazy, like crazy pain. Just even trying to get it to like this level, like it was like pretty much flat. Trying to get it like here was just rough on its own. But
did you have the problem? Because I mean, we had different surgeries, so.
Because did you also tear your meniscus as well?
Yeah. So.
Because I know the first time I had partial tear meniscus, second time I had no meniscus tear. But.
Yeah. So meniscus really put my walking off, like set it back like a month and a half, which kind of sucked. Which, funny enough, I bought tickets for a Colts game at the beginning of August. So I was like, oh, I'll be off crutches in like 2 weeks. So when the game comes in a month, I'll be chilling. Which I didn't get off like fully off crutches for like 2 months.
Wow.
So I was crutching through that stadium, and it was rough.
Yeah, I don't know what changed, but the first time I went, probably meniscus, like we were saying. But second time I was off my crutches, not fully, but like I was able to walk off my crutches after like 2 weeks. The second time, and I don't know what miracle. My guess is the second time they used a cadaver. First time they just did some sort of reconstruction with my hamstring. I don't know all the specifics of it right now, but second time it was a cadaver, and I don't know if that helped the process. But second time was a much smoother process than the first. But
you used a cadaver?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I used my own quad, which Still regrowing. It takes about 2 years to regrow.
Yeah,
so
I wonder about that because
halfway done with that.
I wonder about that because they used some part of my leg. I don't know what it was, but probably that same thing you had. So that's probably not even. Well, it probably is healed by now because that was spring of 2022. So that it probably is. Pretty much
it's
good
so
now,
crazy because like a few days after surgery, my quad is still like kind of the size of what like it normally is, and then it just drops so quickly.
Yeah, I know.
Like
That's one of the craziest parts is you get done with that surgery and you see the like comparison of your legs, and one of them's just so much smaller because you aren't using it ever.
Yeah, like I have a bunch of pictures on my camera roll of like my legs comparison, and it's like a chicken leg. Like,
yeah,
it's so tiny.
Yeah, I think mine didn't even get fully recovered by the time I tore it the second time, and so like I had like disproportionate legs for like 2.5 straight years, pretty much. It was so weird, but random insecurity that no one's gonna notice. But like it's just like you're sitting down, it's like, dang, this quad is so much smaller than the other one.
Right now, it's like still tiny.
Yeah. Pivoting a little bit to another thing I know that you are heavily involved in right now. Talk about, is it the herd? That's what it's called. Would you like to describe what that is and then kind of go into detail about, just what it is?
Yeah. So the herd is the official drumline of the Indianapolis Colts, which is such a cool thing to do. So basically it's called the herd, but it's made up of a bunch of people from the group called the Pack Drumline. They go all over the world. They do America's Got Talent all the time. Pretty cool. So like they have a couple of their main guys that live in Chicago. They travel into Indy each week, and then they like recruited some people from Indiana. So then we also drive up and meet them at Indy every weekend. Well, not every weekend. It just depends on if there's a game or not, or if they want to practice that weekend. But yeah, we've only practiced a couple times, but then game days we get there pretty early. They serve us breakfast and everything. Obviously free parking. We get paid for the games, and we get paid to eat. Like they give us some money to eat. So we play in touchdown town before the game. We do like one stunt, then we walk through and kind of play through like all these tents, and then we come back out and do another stunt. And then after that, we go back into Lucas Oil, and there's like a DJ set up. I don't know if you know in there.
I kind of.
There's like a giant horseshoe, and then there's a guy DJing behind him. And then we get mic'd up right there. And then we shoot like a live camera block that they play during the game. So like all these fans kind of like huddle up right there. Yeah. Super fun to perform.
I've seen one of those clips on Instagram of you guys playing. I thought it was pretty cool.
It's like a minute to a minute 30, just like little live action shoot. It's just pretty cool to do.
So what was your like process of getting involved in that? How did you like become a part of that?
They posted something on Facebook, and my mom and my aunt shared it to me, and I was like, might as well just audition, because the first round was a video audition. So I'd sent it in, and they said by like the deadline you'll hear at this date. I never heard anything, so I emailed and I was like, did I get this or like whatever? And they were like, oh, we didn't see your video or whatever because of some Google form I guess they didn't get. So I was like, let me do this real quick. And like literally within the day they were like, yeah, we want you to come to this audition.
That's
and I was
crazy.
I was like, word. So then we had the audition like the very start of June, and that was like a couple hours. It was like pretty hard audition compared to like other ones I've been to. And then at the end they were like, oh, you guys will hear back within 2 to 3 days of whether you made it or not. So it had been a month since we auditioned, and nothing. I've heard nothing. I've emailed them a couple times like trying to follow up, and then finally they're like, oh, let's do a Zoom call. So then we Zoomed, and they like told me they wanted me to be on it. And then there's also like a Team Indiana drumline I guess we're a part of. So like if there's a client in Indiana that wants like a drumline for something, they'll call us along with a couple of the Pack people. So yeah, that's pretty much how I got into it.
Nice. I know you mentioned other auditions that you've done. Was DCI ever on your radar? Was that ever something you considered?
Yeah, I auditioned winter of, November of 2023. I auditioned for the Blue Coats. Went to a weekend camp. I was very unfortunate. I was like the final cut for that group. They took 7 and I was the 8th person, which was like
that's rough. Yeah.
And then last November I auditioned for Phantom, And this was like a couple months after my ACL surgery. But luckily we didn't do any marching or anything. Like, it was just strictly hands. So I got invited to a callback camp, and I was like, I had a meeting with my surgeon, and I was like talking to him about it. And he's like, yeah, I don't think you'll be cleared till like June or July. I was like, oh, that really sucks, because like I'd missed like the first part of that season. So then I ended up not going to the callback camp, and which I like felt bad. I was like in between. I was like, do I want to go and like risk myself, but at the same time, like I want to prevent myself from re-injuring like early. So I ended up not going to the callback, which in the end, if I would have done Phantom, I wouldn't have been on the Colts. So I guess it's like,
Yeah, it's kind of. Which, I mean, like, would you have rather done?
I think I would rather be on the Colts for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's not to like diss on DCI, but I feel like that's much cooler than what
which
DCI
I can still
could
do
offer.
DCI at this point now.
I mean, yeah, you
I'm already
could,
on the
but-
Colts, so I just
Mhm.
kind of.
Yeah, I mean, if you like where you're at, I mean, why try to change it? But yeah, that's kind of, I mean, not to keep bringing up ACL injuries, but that's kind of how my time in band wrapped up. It was like I did the summer, like the June month of marching band, and then, you know, I tore my ACL again in July, come back in August or like late July, and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to march at all this year. And so I will say this again, I don't mean to diss on band or anything in any way whatsoever, but when I tell you that month of like August and September, when I had nothing to do and I just got to hang out and like talk, best 2 months of band in my life. I just literally got to like hang out and just talk. And I mean, I did some music stuff, but like I just kind of got to hang out and talk to my friends the whole time. Like that was great. And I think that's one of the dominoes that was like, I only like band when I'm not doing band. And like, I think some of that, again, I don't want to diss on anyone. That's not my point here. My point here is like, I think it's just the direction that Northview band was going in was like just, you know, something that didn't really click with me. And like my dad has offered many times for me to do the Brazil concert band, but I don't know, just not my thing. But I feel like that was a point of conversation in some of the previous episodes of this podcast that has changed since this, so I thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah, it's kind of like drum majoring. Like okay,
that's a good conversation. What was that like for you?
Like, I'm the leader of it, but at the same time, like, it was so laid back to what I've been used to, because I was still like recovering in the beginning, so I wasn't like fully, like, I guess, in that role in a way. So I was kind of just like chilling half the time, which was pretty fun. I mean, there was some points where I had to like really like do a bunch of stuff, but for the most part, it was pretty chill and laid back, and I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. Yeah.
I know it's probably different for you because you were like the drum major, like you were the person in charge, I guess. Yeah. But I know in my experience of like being the backfield one, like it was such tonal whiplash from I just got to be up front and talk with my friends to just being complete isolation in the back. Like there were practices where I didn't have any sort of human interaction for like 2.5 hours. And I'm getting flashbacks just talking about it. But was there any of that for you? Like, obviously, you had no other choice. And I mean, I didn't either. But was there, like, a point where it was like, dang, I really just don't, like, I'd rather be out there? Or were you pretty satisfied with what went down?
There was a lot of days where I was like, man, I wish I could be marching on the field with those people. But at the same time, like, at least I'm still here and doing it with them.
Yeah.
And contributing in some form.
And I bet it's different for you now because now you're a part of something that, you know, would have been there. But it wasn't like, at least for me, it wasn't band that I didn't like. It was just, like I said, the way it was, the direction it was going in and the way it was being ran. But yeah. So one more, like another point I have on this notepad, not like I have other questions on here, but this is the last, like, not direct question. Kind of the opposite of the college question. We are 2 or 3 months removed from high school. What would you say your general like remembrance of Northview is? Like how do you look back on your time at Northview? Do you look at it like mostly positive, or like do you have anything that stands out? Any like standout memories that you would like to, you know, share or go over, or just what it's brought you? Just kind of a broad question, but however you feel like answering.
That's a good one. I would say it was pretty positive for the most part. I mean, you learn so much in just like that short span of time, and it flies by so quick, and then like memories just pile up. It's just like there's so much memories I could talk about there, but I think like my favorite part would be probably senior year. Just like kind of growing like a bond with like more people than I'm used to, and like kind of expanding my group and like making this big group. And then
because point on that, like that, the friend group that we have now had, I mean, obviously like you and Zach and Parker like knew each other,
and Nate,
and then like Nate, and then like I knew Duke and Nate a little bit from junior year. I kind of knew Zach a little bit. I knew you from band, not super well, but I knew you from band. Just like seeing that all come together was really cool. Like
I didn't talk to you ever as much. Didn't really talk to Will.
I mean, we talked once at like Rotary because ACL bond, but
I think that was really cool to kind of like grow with all you guys and like make a new friendship. Another thing is probably indoor, like performing at WGI and stuff like that. That was really cool and fun.
I know that's been something. Those two things you mentioned are something that, again, I say this very clearly because I don't want this to be like misinterpreted as someone that I'm gonna like, I don't know. I think I've made my point clear. Those are two things that I do miss about high school, is like coming here, and like obviously Lucas is here, you're here, Will's here, but it's like you're just thrown in a completely new environment. And I feel like as someone who, like, I wouldn't say I found a true like friend group until like school friend group, that is. I had friends outside of school, but I wouldn't say I had a true school friend group until like late sophomore, early junior year of high school. And that's just from someone who's naturally introverted. Like I didn't really have any school friends from like 6th grade to sophomore year-ish. I kind of did, but nobody that I like did stuff outside of school with. And so now I'm kind of like regrouping with that, and so that's something I miss a little bit. And then I will say, back to marching band, I do miss the performative aspect of it, like having this thing to look forward to every weekend, and then like going out and doing this thing that you've practiced. So I can relate to that as well. That was good points. But
it's like, it's so weird because you're in like a small, like for Northview, it's kind of like we had a small class, so like you really just know everyone there. And then you get thrown into college and it's like, you know, like 5 people. And then try to make those new connections. It's like, can be hard. And
I mean, like I've met people, but like I think it also, I'm trying to not be this way. I'm naturally a picky person when it comes to like meeting people, not meeting people, but like picking people you want to be around. And so like I've met people, but it's like kind of hard for me to, I don't know what word to use, but like, I don't know. It's hard to like grasp on, connect. That's a word to use. Like, like grasp or connect with people. So I do miss that. It's like you go to class and it's like, you know, everyone in there. And it's just like a really nice time. Like I was thinking about this earlier, like in calc, I could talk to like anybody in calc about anything, I feel like. And now we're here. Those are two things I definitely like think about with high school. But
also like the underclassmen, like in high school, like you just don't see those people anymore. I don't really know if you, like there's a couple people that I'm like, dang bro, like I was really close friends with those people, and I'm like, nah, I just don't see them ever.
Going off of kind of this last question we were talking about, these moments that we really value, is there like a period of your life, like a very specific period of your life that you look back on very fondly? Like I have an example if it helps. Sorry, it's really hot in here in this dorm. I was just mentioning about that like August, like that late summer, early fall of 2023 when junior year is your hardest year of high school is what, everyone says. But like at that point, the workload hadn't gotten heavy and I wasn't doing anything at band besides just hanging out. So it was like every point of like that part of my life was just positive. My birthday was in that span and I got a record player, so I started collecting records, and so I have very fond memories of the records that I got and those songs, the music I was listening to. I found some of my favorite albums of all time in that time span of my life. And so, like, I don't know, like, it's very specific, but like August to like October, mid-October of 2023 is like a very random point in my life where I'm like, that was peak. I don't know if you have anything like that, but you know.
I think mine would honestly be like that same time span, like
Really?
August of 23 to like this, like beginning of December-ish.
Mm-hmm. Is there like any reason, or is it just like, you know?
I feel like I had, with people I don't really talk to as much now, but like I had like really close friendships with some people, and like I just like really enjoyed everything I was doing. Like school was like actually kind of fun and entertaining to do. Had like friends there and stuff. Then practice was just like fun every day. Like I enjoyed it all the time. And then that was probably like when I grinded the hardest for like drumming and stuff for my Blue Cult audition. But like, I don't know, everything was just like so enjoyable to do. Like I loved everything that I was doing day to day, and I was just like enjoying it.
I guess if I really wanted to, I could also extend it to that time. Like I could probably say just like to December, like maybe just second half of 2023 would be my answer to make it easier. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like I still listen to like music from that time, and it just puts me in that headspace. And I mean, the music, it is like my favorite music of all time, so it transcends that point of my life. But still, it's like it just brings you back into this time of like, this was bliss, like pure bliss in my life. But I feel like one of those things in the future, like 2 or 3 years from now, I feel like I'm going to look very fondly on that like time of the Pacers run.
Oh my gosh.
Like we were graduating high school. The Pacers were making the finals.
That's a good time.
Yeah, we were all hanging out like every day.
Dude, yeah, it was like,
because we had like every 2 days a Pacers game was on, so we'd all get together. Like I don't know, that was just such a good time.
That was pretty good too. Then I feel like after their run, I just like was so depleted. Like I was like, not only they lost, but like I don't really see anyone anymore.
Yeah,
I'm just like working.
I feel like I'm
day.
still kind of in that funk.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying that my life isn't good right now. I'm just saying like my year so far has peaked in like that point in time.
That like June-ish.
Yeah, like June, late May. Actually, probably even like that whole run. So maybe even like late April, because that's when prom was too. I would say right around when prom was when that peak started, and then it kind of dropped off right around the time Pacers lost, because that next day I got my wisdom teeth out, and I would say not related necessarily, but I would say around that time was when it kind of went back to the way it was. But that's gonna be I feel like that's gonna be a time where we look back on that, and that's gonna be a great memory.
It's probably gonna be a while before that happens again.
Yeah, definitely.
Sad to say that.
Sad to say, but it's true. I mean, it's just the reality of it. Speaking of like moments, and not everyone has a story like this, so if you don't have one, it's not a big deal. Yeah. But I was thinking about this the other day, and I feel like we have these pivotal moments in our life where, you know, we kind of shift what we're doing, or kind of change trajectories, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way to phrase without sounding sappy or like really overly dramatic, but is there any moments like that for you, where you would say you kind of, my voice keeps cracking all the time, where like something happened or something was gradually happening and you're like, I got to make a shift, or just a major change in your life, or I don't know. I'm making this question pretty open to however you want to interpret it. But
I would say like September of 24, like a couple months after my surgery, like I was just like so in my head all the time, and I was like, dang, like I can't do this or this. But like then I was just like, well, I should be like grateful for what I can do right now, considering what I like had been a couple months before. Like I couldn't even walk, and then started walking again, and then slowly jogging, and like just being like grateful that like, oh, I can walk again, and kind of changing my headspace to be like more grateful instead of being, I don't know what's the word, like sad that I can't do this. And just being grateful for what
like
I can
melancholy
do.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's a word, but
kind of just like being grateful for what I have and what I can do,
and
just not thinking about what I can't
Yeah, like not taking things for granted.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like, so then I started journaling a lot. That kind of helped me kind of get through it, and just like openly talking about it was one thing that I did.
What does journaling look like for you?
So it started right after surgery. I started journaling like each day, how it went, what all I did, kind of, which...
Was this like specifically for your ACL progress, or was this just something that happened to fall in the same time?
Well, I wanted to start journaling because I was like, I just want to like start tracking my life and kind of see how it changes and stuff. And so this kind of like just gave me time to do that because you're obviously not doing much after.
Yeah, you're just sitting around.
Just chilling. So I started journaling like every day, and then it kind of like spaced out from when I would journal, and I would kind of like recap the past weeks or so. Which I haven't really journaled in a long time, but that was something that got me through that time, was just journaling. And then like a month or two later, I'd look back at those and be like, wow, like I was really struggling with this, but now like I'm really good at this, and now it's something else that I'm struggling with.
I've tried journaling and it's definitely helped. I just don't know if I'm like disciplined enough for it, or the problem used to be I didn't like writing, but now that have been having to take notes and stuff, I feel like that probably wouldn't be an issue. But I think
it's just finding the time to sit down and like zone out everything else and just like fully just like express my mind into a piece of paper.
When you journal, is it like a long allotted time that you have, or is it like, I mean, like how long do you usually sit down and write for?
Probably at least 30 minutes. Like there was one day I was working out, and so like I guess in between sets I would like keep writing what I was thinking about and then go back, but that was probably like the most like short gaps. But everything else has been like I sit down and I just write, and like I low-key like just lose track of time. Like, there was one time on the way to a competition I was just mind bubbling on a piece of paper for like an hour and a half.
So is that like a way for you to like regroup or like decompress what like kinda, life struggles, or
kind of feels like I'm getting stuff off my chest, but I'm not really telling anyone. I'm kind of just like expressing it to myself. And if anyone read my journal, I wouldn't care. I mean, it's nothing like I'm hiding anything like deep dark secrets.
I don't know, I feel like that's a good like habit to get into.
I need to pick it back up. I like look at my journal all the time. It's just sitting there and I'm like, dang, really need to like pick this up again. I even have like a planner for school that I write in like my weekly like things I need to finish, and then sometimes like there's like a notes section, and I'm just like, sometimes like each week I'll just write down like a positive thing for myself, like like this all matters now, and it's like leading towards what my goal is.
That's a really good way to look at it. That actually pivots very well. I keep saying the word pivot, I don't know why. That actually goes into a great point, or a point that I had on this paper. What I'm going to try to phrase this in a way that isn't dumb, because I hate the question of like, where do you see yourself in 5 years, or like, what's your goal in 5 years? I hate that question. I'm just trying to make it to tomorrow. So like a better way to phrase that question, I guess, is like, what does the ideal version of your future look like? Where do you want to be? What is like your point in life where you can say like, I've made it, like I've made peace in a way?
So my goal right now is to obviously have a bunch of connections with the Colts. Like I've been networking with people and kind of like trying to get my foot in the door. So I would like to, after I graduate PT school, is apply for like a sports team, whether it be the Colts or somewhere else, or like the Pacers or something, and kind of work with them and travel with them for a while. And then I kind of want to do that for like a little bit, and then once I'm ready to have like a family and stuff, kind of maybe transition to like a clinical setting or something like that. Still work with athletes, but not as like professional athletes in that way. So I can kind of like base myself in an area, like get a house, start a family. So I guess I don't really have like a set answer of when I made it. I guess doing the sports stuff for like a certain amount of time, and if I can have a family and like sit down somewhere while doing that, then I'd keep doing that. But probably like a clinical setting after I've done sports stuff for a while and kind of like starting my family in whatever town I happen to be at.
Starting a family is a big one, at least for me. Like that's like, I mean, that's like, my answer is obviously more complex than that, but like that's my main focus of this. It's like I want to get married and like have a family and settle down as early as not like tomorrow, but like as early as I realistically can. That's my goal. But
yeah, I would like want to wait till I'm like financially set to like then start settling down and getting a house and all that stuff. Not just like rushing everything like, oh, we need to do this now. No. Just kind of like slow.
Yeah. Where would you want to live realistically?
I would want to live like, I guess not say out in the country, but not like in the city. Like I want to live out. Kind of have like a little bit leased area.
I get that. I would say similarly. Like, I mean, you've been in my house.
Yeah.
Like the kind of area my house is at, that's where I want to live.
Yeah, like
not
that,
like too far from, like we live like 10 minutes from Brazil, but like not out of not in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, like where I live now, like I would like that kind of setting. It's like because we live in like a dead end area, so it's like nice and pretty quiet back there.
Yeah,
but I still have like a little bit of yard to do whatever I'd want to.
I feel like there's definitely benefits of having like neighbors and stuff, but I feel like there's also some value in having just a space that's to yourself. You know?
Definitely.
But, I don't know. This is coming from someone that's never lived in any sort of neighborhood,
But there's sometimes though when I travel to like a big city, like I went to Columbus in December, and like just going through the day and just kind of like walking through there, I'm like, it'd be kind of cool to live in a city. But at the same time, I'm like, I would get really annoyed with all the sound. And
so like if you were to work with like the Pacers or something, would you find an apartment, or would you like, I guess probably be kind of hard for you to drive up to Indy. I mean, depending on what your work looked like. But
if I did get a job, I'd probably get an apartment, but I probably wouldn't get one in Indy. I'd probably get one like 15, 20 minutes out, because that's not a horrible drive to make every day.
Yeah, it's really not.
But also like finding a nice area outside the city where like I feel comfortable living there and stuff.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about this. I used to kind of be in that same boat where I didn't want to live in any city. Like Indianapolis was too big for me, and it probably still is. But last summer, my family took a trip to Chicago, and I was like, "Oh, Indy's nothing." Like,
really?
Like just walking in Chicago, like I was fine, but like it was just so claustrophobic. There's just stuff everywhere, and it's like Indy was surprisingly much tamer than Chicago, like more tame than I thought it was gonna be. And so, like even in Indy, like you don't have to drive far from Indy for there to be like a suburb area where like it's just nice houses, and then you drive like 2 minutes and you're in Indy. So it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's got a good balance. Indy would not be a bad place to live. I just wouldn't live like in the city. I would live like right on the outskirts of the city. But that's all the questions I had on this paper. But if you were a viewer of this in the past, I'm sure you're aware of the games we used to do. With Duke, we played Would You Rather. With Zach and Nate, we did a bracket of snacks, which took up, I think, like probably 40 minutes of the runtime. And then with Kenny, we did blind ranking something. I don't remember what we did, but we're going to do that same thing. But we're going to do different topics. And what's great about this is if I ever decide to make short form with like YouTube Shorts or post it on the Roundtable Instagram, we have content for that. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to label 1 through 5 so we can actually keep track of what I'm talking about here. This topic we have right here, artists. I'm going to ask you an artist, and you're going to rank them 1 through 5. And then once you rank them in that spot, they're taken. I'm sure a lot of us know how blind ranking works now at this point. But my first artist for you is Sabrina Carpenter, 1 through 5. Where would you put her? And then kind of talk through if you know.
So her short and sweet album I thought was decent. It's just like not my style of music, but I think a lot of people like it. And then her most recent album, there's like 2 or 3 good songs in there. Not very good, but I'll put her at 4 just to be safe.
Okay, good call. Next one I have for you, One Direction.
Oh.
Another shared thing between us.
Dude, One Direction is just like so many banger songs.
So many
in
bangers.
There. Just to save, I'll put them at 2 just to save my one spot.
Be safe, okay. I'm not mad at that.
I love One Direction. I was listening to them this morning while I was in the shower.
Oh, really? What song?
That was You and I.
Ooh, that's a good one. I feel like we've had this conversation off camera before, but favorite One Direction song?
Probably Either You and I or Steal My Girl.
Those are both classics. Those are
Yeah.
both great picks. Next artist I have is Drake. You have 1, 3, and 5 left. So you have top, middle, bottom.
Oh, I really like Drake. I think I'll put Drake in my 1.
Ooh, I can't even be mad at that.
Recently, like I've been driving to Indy so much, so I have like an hour and a half there and back. So I've started listening to his old albums, and some of his old albums are like
his old albums are so good. Like, the thing about Drake is he gets a lot of hate, and like rightfully so. Some of his old stuff is just so good. Like when we were talking about that point of like second half of 2023, I was really into Drake's music, and so like that whole Take Care album is really good. Nothing Was the Same is like probably a top 3 album for me. If You're Reading This Is Too Late is really good. Views is really good, but also kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
I don't know. He has so many good songs.
I'm blanking right now, but there's an old album. It had Karaoke on it by Drake. I can't remember what it's called.
Karaoke.
Karaoke is such like one of my favorite Drake songs ever.
I don't even. That one's not ringing a bell for me. Out of 3 and 5, where would you put Kanye?
We're just going off music base.
Just music.
I think I'd put him at 3.
Okay. And I'll give you Chaperone. Is that someone you listen to or no?
Okay. Casual is like a song I've had on repeat so much recently, but outside of like her main hits, like I've not really listened to anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't really care for that much.
That's kind of how I am. I listened to her one album, not too old, like 2023 maybe. But yeah, I thought it was all right. All right, our second blind ranking category is different types of meat or different ways meat are prepared. First one I have, if this pen would work. First one I have for you is taco meat. 1 through 5.
I'd say 3.
3? Okay. Right in the middle. Sorry, this notepad is awful. No, I'll know what it says. Next one I have for you, ham. Where does ham rank 1 through 5?
Dude, a nice ham on Thanksgiving or Christmas. I know everyone's like turkey on Thanksgiving, but a nice smoked ham. Oh my gosh. I think I had to throw that at 1.
Oh my goodness, at 1?
That is like my favorite meat.
That is crazy. Ham is my least favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Even like when I make like sandwiches.
I mean,
if I'm not rocking a peanut butter sandwich,
Yeah.
I'd be putting ham, Colby Jack cheese, and some light
Colby
mayo.
Jack cheese is so good. I don't know. I don't know if it's like a texture thing or what it is, but I just cannot eat ham.
Sometimes when it is like slimy, it's like nah.
Yeah, no, that's the part of ham I don't like.
But like when like someone cuts up a nice smoked ham and it's like thick pieces and it's like, oh, it's so flavorful.
Fair enough. Tuna.
Oh, 5.
Easy 5.
Ew, no.
Okay, well that settles it. You got 2 and 4. Grilled chicken.
Ooh. I do love some grilled chicken, like the grilled chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A. Oh, those slap.
Yeah.
I think I'll put grilled chicken at 2.
At 2? Okay. So at number
I think
4.
I think I know it's last.
At number 4, we got burgers.
Oh, burgers? Okay.
Yeah. So you had ham at 1, grilled chicken at 2, taco meat at 3,
Burgers
at 4, and tuna at 5. Our last one, blind rank these colors.
Oh, okay.
First one I have on here is scarlet. If you need to look them up for like an exact reference, you can. But
Is
scarlet's like kind of a red orange-ish color.
Miss Scarlet from Clue. Like that color?
Oh, yeah.
That instantly popped in my mind. I'll go with 4.
4? Okay. Gonna offend all of those Scarlet fans out there, I'm sure.
If you're a Scarlet fan, don't come at me.
I have teal.
Teal, I like teal. I'd say a teal is a good 2.
Teal at 2. Alliteration 2. Periwinkle. Do you need a reference? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Periwinkle. Do you remember Periwinkle from Blue's Clues?
I watch Blue's Clues, but don't remember it.
Okay, well,
Periwinkle color.
believe it or not, periwinkle is periwinkle.
What do I use? 1 and 4 so far?
You used 2 and
Or
4
2 and 4, yeah.
for teal and scarlet.
I put periwinkle at 3.
Periwinkle at 3.
Yeah. I gotta preserve the one spot.
Fair enough. Gray.
Oh.
Yeah, 1 and 5. Is it
I
the
put
best
gray,
or the worst?
I put gray at 5.
That's fair.
Because, like, if you're wearing a gray shirt, bro, and it's a hot day,
Mm.
you're cooked.
Yes, dude. Oh my gosh. Gray can be an unforgiving color.
Worst shirt to have in the bag.
Yeah. All right, and your number 1 spot goes to Earth Green.
Oh.
Is that a
That's not
satisfying
awful.
awe or a disappointing?
That's disappointing.
Disappointing? I don't know. A good Earth Green can really.
Yeah, but I think teal or periwinkle beat that.
So, like, ideally, would you put Earth Green at 3 and have teal periwinkle?
Yeah,
okay.
teal, yeah. Teal,
All right.
Teal periwinkle, earth green.
All right. I was debating on if I should bring this segment back, but I think I'm going to. It was Last Call was what it was called. I might change the name of that because I don't know if I'm really loving it, but
Add cool sound effect.
and edit and post. So can I borrow your phone for a timer?
Yeah.
My phone is currently being used to record the visuals. But shout out, talk about whatever you want, and then we'll do a wrap up unless you have anything else to say. But starting now.
So, do I just talk about me or
Just
like
whatever you want to say. I don't know. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, so starting from top down, I think like the ACL talk we had, I think like sports rehab, like depression is like a very real thing that no one talks about ever. And like personally, like I wish like people like took awareness to it almost in a way, because there's so many athletes that get injured and they're just like, oh, they're injured, whatever, fill the next spot, and like no one really like cares about them. High school was very fun. I don't regret anything. I would tell people to get involved as much as you can, meet new people. You have limited time before you don't see these people as much. Trying to think what else.
You have
What else we
5
talked about?
seconds.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Check me out on Instagram, lsb.51. Go follow me.
good plug. Oh, look at that!
Oh my!
I stopped
Stopped
it.
a minute on the
I don't know if you're
dime.
gonna be able to see, but I stopped it exactly at 1 minute
Oh
on the
my.
stopwatch. That is skill right there. Yeah. Any closing thoughts, questions, points of conversation, topics?
I'm glad I was the first guest on the
Of course.
revamped.
I'm glad that it worked out well. It was very
Yeah.
convenient
Yeah.
for this to happen because we've been seeing each other a lot
Yeah.
anyways. So it's going to be a lot harder for those not. I can show you the list of guests that I have lined up, but like one of them's going to be hard because, or a few of them, I can think of 2 specifically, or no, I can think of 3 specifically that are probably going to be a little hard to get to go, but just because of A, they're busy, or B, they live in Kentucky.
Or their name's Nathaniel and they do not answer their phone.
True. That number's changed to 4. Shout out, reverse shout out, Nate.
Wait, hold on.
What? Oh, we got some. Yeah, Nate, come pick up your hat, please. It's been in our dorm for
It kind of makes
over a
good
month
decor.
now. It does, but I mean, I have an ISU hat I can hang up there if he would grab his Shoey's hat. But
Shout out Shoeys.
shout out Shoey's. If you need furniture or appliances, call Shoey. We'll hook you up with Nate.
Yeah.
Nate
Set you up
Moore.
with Nate Moore.
Nate Moore. Yeah, that's where I'll wrap it. We have roughly an hour of footage. I mean, some of that's going to be edited out, but
Yeah.
very successful comeback.
Yes.
Yeah. Subscribe, follow our Instagram, and until next time, whenever that may be.